Hey everybody, it's S-Monty Gaming. Just recently CK3 Patch 1.1 dropped, and I wanted to take a look and play around with one of its more notable adjustments, the change to Diplomacy's bonuses. To compensate for a slash in the opinion modifier, Paradox added a +% prestige gain multiplier for every point of diplomacy your ruler has over 8. At first glance, this didn't appear too interesting to me, but when I started mixing in perks from the August and Gallant trees, oh, and an overpowered wife, I'll miss you, Queen Linda, the resulting prestige gained per month was actually pretty impressive. First things first, if you want to shower yourself in copious amounts of prestige, you're going to need a very diplomatically inclined spouse. This is because for every point beyond 8 of your diplomacy score, as I mentioned, gives you a +1 modifier to your monthly prestige. Thus, these 16 points from Queen Linda equated to an additional 16% prestige each month. Okay, yes, that does seem pretty modest at first, but this is only the start. In my playthrough, I took a young tribal ruler in the north who had a martial education focus. This allowed me to grab quite a few nifty perks in the Gallant tree rather quickly, and, not to mention, made for some decent conquesting. I went down the right side of the tree, grabbing Kingsguard for the bonus knights. This had strengthened my army for the early wars, especially since I had 75% bonus effectiveness from chivalric dominance, but more on knights in a bit. The goal here was to finish out the tree, so I had to go down the left side next. And remember our lovely wife Linda? Well, she gets a nice little bump to her diplomacy bonus from the loyalty and respect perk. Stick with it a little longer and you'll finally get that Gallant tree, which will give you an additional 20% monthly prestige. And with that, we have the groundwork. With that, we're going to want to change our lifestyle focus over to Majesty, as we're going to want to start taking perks in the August tree. Since the prestige multipliers are additive, no other focus should really be considered here, as any straight up prestige per month gets multiplied by the sum of all the multipliers. Okay, so first comes Firm Hand. I hope you've been saving those prisoners from your early conquests, as each point of dread will give you additional multipliers, so have your way with them. Next up is Praetorian Guard. Remember those additional knights from the martial tree? Well, now they're worth exactly 2% monthly prestige each, so make sure you top off any open knight or champion slots you may have. Following that, you'll get Inspiring Rule, which may get you up to 25% additional multiplier. So if you have the choice between a better Chancellor and a powerful vassal, take the Chancellor, as the foreign relations task will give you flat prestige per month, and as I had mentioned, that gets multiplied. Once you pick up writing history, you'll want to make sure you've saved enough gold to commission your epic as soon as possible. In my playthrough, I ended up with a +2 prestige per month modifier from this decision, and as I had mentioned, flat prestige is king here, so I was happy with that. At this point, you may be starting to feel a little less youthful than you once were, but I'm willing to bet you've got a nice bit of prestige ticking each month. My ruler was 53 at this point, so I wanted to see if I could finish out the tree, as there are some pretty neat perks to grab on the way to August. Next, I went with A Life of Glory. Depending on your level of fame, you'll get double its stated bonuses. For me, I had +3 knights, so this perk granted me another 3, and subsequently another 6% monthly prestige gained. If you can hang in there for a few more years, you'll grab that coveted August trait, which will give you another +1 prestige per month. For my testing, I had only modestly expanded and passed time at 5 speed just to see how things built out. I hadn't really min-maxed my result, but despite the modest prestige gain I had acquired and the additional stacked multipliers, I was able to generate a decent prestige gain per month, and this was including some men-at-arms maintenance. I wanted to see how big I can get this number, so for the next screenshot, I disbanded all my men-at-arms regiments and went around imprisoning random people for execution so I can get 100 dread. Crazy, right? Now, I should be able to maintain leagues of tribal bowmen with this kind of income, but it doesn't actually work that way, unfortunately. Remember what I'd mentioned about flat prestige being very good with multipliers? Well, this is a double-edged sword, unfortunately. The negative prestige spent on your men-at-arms monthly is also counted before modifiers, and thus has a magnified impact on your resulting prestige per month. Maybe this was intentional, as it does balance the stacking of multipliers, but honestly it makes me question how valuable these modifiers are as a tribal leader. If anything, it allows you to gather the upfront cost of hiring men-at-arms more quickly, and can help support more building projects, but I still need to do a little more investigating and testing of things. If it ends up interesting, I will follow up this video with some further analysis and results. So, in conclusion, is this diplomacy change a buff to tribal rulers? I'm going to say slightly, but I still need to drill into the numbers to see if there are any breakpoints that should be considered. If stacking these modifiers proves to be very powerful, then I stand by my claim of Queen Linda's overpoweredness. In any case, I hope you found this guide interesting, or at least has you thinking of the game in a new way. As always, if you like what you see, giving the video a like or sub goes a long way. I hope to see you all in the next one. Till then, I'll see ya.